A very good evening and welcome to this Sunday's edition of News First Weekend, coming to you live from our News First studios in Colombo. I'm Arundhati Mudannayak. Let's start off with a look at the stories making headlines this evening.
Election Commission vested with the authority of holding the presidential election from today. Who will the leaders of the United National Front support?
සුවිජාතික පක්ෂවලින් උදව්ව උපකාරය සජිත් ප්‍රේමදාස මහතුමාට ලබා දෙන බව ඒ පක්ෂ නායකයින් ප්‍රකාශ කළා.
President says, do not underestimate the Sri Lanka Freedom Party. An attempt by the CEB for another emergency power purchase. President to declare open Colombo Lotus Tower tomorrow. Showers expected in several parts of the island.
And now the stories in detail. Two women were injured in an explosion that occurred at a house in Saman Mawata down Mahavila Lane in Dematakoda. According to police, a gas cylinder had exploded inside the house.
Police suspect that the explosion occurred in the ground floor of the two-storied house when the women inside the house lit a match when there was a leak in the gas cylinder. The two injured women were 60 and 64 years of age. Two adjacent houses were also severely damaged in the explosion.
We heard a loud noise when we were in the house. When we looked towards where the explosion occurred, we saw that the roof of the house had blown off. Most of the time it was before you go to sleep, you must pay attention towards the gas cooker. Either you have to unplug it or check whether there is a gas leakage. Sometimes every joint that is connected by wires can be a gas leakage. It is better to do this after opening the windows in the morning.
The Department of Meteorology forecast heavy showers in the western, Sabarkamua, southern and northwestern provinces. Deputy Director of the department, Meryl Mendes, said that thunder showers can be expected in some areas.
The highest rainfall during the 24 hours that ended at 8:30 this morning was reported from Hambantota. The rainfall in Hambantota was 87 millimeters. The Met Department reported that areas including Gaul, Angunakola Palasa and Kirana received a rainfall of over 60 millimeters. Meanwhile, the Department of Fisheries also warned fishermen that it will be dangerous to venture into the sea in areas extending from Hambantota to Potuvil and the sea area extending from Putlam to Kankasanture via Mana. The department added that multi-day fishing vessels in the Bay of Bengal have also been warned about the inclement weather conditions. Heavy showers have been battering the Gaul town since last night. The inclement weather affected the flow of traffic along the Gaul Battegama and Gaul Mapalagama roads. The Mathura district has also been receiving heavy falls throughout the day today, and fishermen in the area have refrained from going out to sea. Heavy mist has engulfed areas including Haputale and has affected the flow of traffic along the Haputale main road. Motorists are advised to travel at a maximum speed of 60 km per hour along highways during heavy rains. The director of the Highway Maintenance and Management Unit, A. Opanayaka, said the headlights of vehicles should also be switched on.
The convention of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party in the Ratnapura district was held at the Sivali grounds in Ratnapura today. Speaking at the event, President Maithripala Sirisena expressed these views on the discussions between the Sri Lanka Freedom Party and the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna.
අද සන්දාන පෙරමුණු සාකච්ඡාව ගැන කතා කරනකොට විශේෂයෙන්ම මම සඳහන් කරන්නට
When speaking about the discussions on forming alliances and fronts, I must say that all parties must remember why the government fell at the election on the 8th of January 2015. Some people say that the Sri Lanka Freedom Party is useless. The SLFP does not have any power. They do not have more than 400 to 500,000 votes. They say that we are not a force to be reckoned with. Who are the village level party members of the Pohot Tour? The village level party members of the Pohot Tour are SLFP supporters. We are the people who are keeping the entire group of the Pohot Tour in parliament as parliamentarians. It is because of the letter sent by Mahinda Amaravira that the entire group of the Pohot Tour is still in parliament. I can see that the leaders of the Pohot Tour are grateful. They understand gratefulness. But the second tier of the Pohot Tour does not understand the concept of gratitude. They think that they are right. We must speak truthfully. Both parties are calling us. The UNP is calling us and the SLPP is calling us. But we have not held discussions with the UNP. We have not had public discussions or secret discussions with the UNP. That is because there are many matters that we cannot come to terms with the UNP.
එළියෙත් නෑ රහසෙත් නෑ. ඒ මොකද UNP එකත් එක්ක බේර ගන්න බැරි ගනුදෙනු හුඟක් තියෙනවා.
The Election Commission is now vested with the power to hold the elections starting from today. So when will the elections actually be held? Newsfirst Amila Munasinghe spoke directly with the chairman of the National Elections Commission.
It will be held on a date decided by the Elections Commission on any day between the 15th of November and the 10th of December, except on the 23rd of November and the 7th of December.
දෙසැම්බර් 7 මේ ඡන්ද විසින් පැවැත්වීමේ අපේ බලාපොරොත්තුවක් නැහැ.
අද සිට ඔබතුමාට බලය හම්බ වෙනවා මේ ජනාධිපතිවරණයේ පැවැත්වෙන දිනේ නම් කරන්න.
පැවැත්වීමේ බල
It would have been good if we could have called for nominations today itself, but today is Sunday. We can issue this order starting from tomorrow, but we will not issue it tomorrow either, because one political party had forced us and said that we must issue this order tomorrow. The government or the opposition or any political party cannot dictate terms to us. The Election Commission will do whatever the Election Commission wants.
කමිෂන් සභාවට ඕන විදියට.
ජනතාව බලා ඉන්න හරියටම කවදාවත් තියෙන්නේ කියලා.
ඒක හරියටම තියන්න පුළුවන් කවදාවත් දන්නවද? අපි තුන්දෙනා කැමති දවස. අපි කැමති හොඳම දවස. එදා තමයි දවස.
4 model villages constructed under the Samata 7 Yalipipidena Udagamana program was vested with the public of Veerakatia, Hambantota today.
These 4 model villages are the 283rd, 284th, 285th and the 286th villages constructed under the Udagamana program, and the villages were declared open by the Deputy Leader of the United National Party, Minister Sajith Premadasa. The model villages, which comprise of 77 houses, are named Satus Mata Gama, Sasiri Mata Gama, Sirikatamau Gama and Sasit Mata Gama. The total cost of the project stands at 84 million rupees.
Today, when you read a newspaper or watch television, only one news item takes center stage. That is whether Sajith Premadasa contests the presidential election or not. I would like to very clearly state from here in Veerakatia that despite whatever is said by whosoever, despite what obstacles may lay ahead, Sajith Premadasa will definitely contest the upcoming presidential election.
Sajith Premadasa මෙදාපාර ජනාධිපතිවරණයට අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම ඉදිරිපත් කරනවා කියලා මම
You can now see with my name being presented, a lot of unusual acts are taking place in the political arena.
දැන් ඕනනම් චිත්‍රපටයක් උනක් ගහන්න පුළුවන් සජිත් ප්‍රේමදාස බීතිකා. ඔට්ටුවයා කියනවා සජිත්ට දෙන්නෙම නැහැ කියලා.
People from the Portua say they will never vote for Sajith. Some other people fidget without making decisions. They hesitate and say that they will not vote for Sajith. I would like to tell the people who say that I will not be the presidential candidate. Not only will I contest the presidential election, I will win the election with the support of the people without any racial, religious or class-based schemes.
අනිවාර්යෙන්ම මේ රටේ ජාති ආගම් කුලමල පන්ති පක්ෂ බෙහෙදෙන් තොරව පොදු ජනතාවගේ කරපිටින් අපේක්ෂකත්වයක් ලබා ගන්නවා රටේ නායකත්වයක් ලබා ගන්නවා කියලා මම මේ අවස්ථාවේ ප්‍රකාශ කරනවා.
The whole country agrees with the fact that this present system is filled with corruption, fraud and theft, which is now at the helm, should be changed. I am 52 years old. I think that is the most active period of my life. I have no need to become the leader of the country and live with my pension. There will be a time where my talents will reduce. There will be a time where I will grow tiresome. There will be a time where I won't be able to actively participate in anything. But I will not be seeking for any responsibilities at that time. I would like to say before you that this is the time of Sajith Premadasa.
මේ එළඹිලා තිබෙන්නේ සජිත් ප්‍රේමදාසගේ කාලයයි කියන එක මම තමුන්නාන්සලාට මේ අවස්ථාවේ ප්‍රකාශ කරනවා.
A meeting was held between Deputy Leader of the United National Party, Minister Sajith Premadasa, and party leaders of member parties of the United National Front.
The meeting that was held at the residence of Minister Mangala Samaravira began at 10:30 last night. Political sources confirmed that the party leaders held a separate discussion before attending the meeting held at the residence of the Finance Minister. This meeting, chaired by Minister Sajith Premadasa, was attended by representatives of the United National Front, including Rauf Hakim, Mahogany, Partli Champika Ranavaka, P. Digambaran and Rishad Badiuddin. Ministers Mangala Samaravira, Malik Samaravikrama and Iran Vikramaratne represented the United National Party at the meeting. The meeting lasted for close to 2 hours. Minister Sajith Premadasa expressed these views to the media after the meeting.
අපි සාර්ථකයි.
දැන් එතකොට ජනාධිපති දූර අපේක්ෂකත්වයේ සම්බන්ධයෙන් අවසන් තීරණයකට දැන්
අවසන් තීරණ හෙට අනිද්දා මේ ඉදිරියට එයි.
අජිත් පෙරේරා ඇමතුමාටයි සුජිත සේනසිංහ ඇමතුමාටයි විනය පරීක්ෂණ පිළිබඳව දියුමක් යවලා තියෙනවා කියලා අපිට වාර්තා පළ වුණා.
ඒව ගැන කලබල වෙන්න එපා.
එතුමලා පක්ෂයෙන් නිරපන්න
නෑ එහෙම නිරපන්න බෑ.
එහෙම වුණොත්
එහෙම වෙන්නේ නෑ. මම පක්ෂයේ නියෝජනායකනේ. කලබල වෙන්න එපා.
මේ අපිට කියන්න පුළුවන් අද මේ එක්සත් මේ ඔබතුමාත් එක්ක සාකච්ඡා කරපු පිරිස් මොන වගේ යෝජනාද ඔබතුමාට ඉදිරිපත් කරේ කියලා.
රට ගොඩනගන යෝජනා.
එහෙම මොනවද බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන ඔබතුමාගේ?
නෑ එහෙම කිසිම බලාපොරොත්තුවක් නෑ.
No, there is no expectation like that. I will not give anyone hopes like that either. No one presented any conditions like that to me. I'm also not a person who will agree to such conditions.
දැන් පොදු ජන පෙරමුණ හා විපක්ෂයෙන් චෝදනා කරනවා ඔබතුමාත් එක්ක සම්මානගත වීම නිසා ඔබතුමාට සහයෝගය දැක්වීමේදී රිෂාඩ් බදුද්දීන් වගේ අමාත්‍යවරුත් ඔබතුමා සමග එක්වනවායි කියලා.
පොදු ජන පෙරමුණ බයයිනේ මම එනවට. ඇත්ත කතාව ඒකනේ.
දැන් ජනාධිපති අපේක්ෂකයා නම් කිරීම සම්බන්ධයෙන් එක්සත් ජාතික පක්ෂයේ මහලේකම්තුමා නම් කියන්නේ අවසන් තීරණය කෘත්‍යාධිකාරී මණ්ඩලය හරහා තමයි ලැබෙන්න ඕනේ කියලා.
ඔය ඉතින් ඔය හැම මණ්ඩලයකටම වැඩි වැදගත් වෙන්නේ ජනතා මණ්ඩලයනේ.
දැන් ඔබතුමා සහ TNA එක අතර පැවති සාකච්ඡාත් එක්කම මේ ඒකාබද්ධ විපක්ෂයෙන් දිගින් දිගටම චෝදනා කරන්න ගත්ත සජිත් ප්‍රේමදාස TNA එකත් අල්ලගෙන දැන් අලුත් වැඩපිළිවෙලක් ගෙනියන්න හදනවා කියලා.
ඕන කෙනෙකුට ඔය
Anyone can make allegations, but you can't make those allegations against the son of Ranasinghe Premadasa, who sacrificed his life for the country. There is no other person who represents a unified state, national security and territorial integrity as strongly as I do. I work straight and talk straight. No deals.
ඍජු වැඩ. කෙලින් කතා. ගිවිසුම් නැත.
Minister Mahogany tweeted that many important decisions were reached during the meeting that was held last night. Ministers and MPs from the United National Party expressed these views regarding the discussions that were held.
Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe asked us to confirm if the minority parties will support Sajith Premadasa and report back to him. Sajith Premadasa's faction held discussions with the minority parties and their representatives. The leaders of the minority parties gave us a very positive feedback. The leaders of these parties said that they will support Minister Sajith Premadasa. Today, discussions are being held with the Tamil National Alliance. After we conclude the discussions with the TNA, Minister Sajith Premadasa is due to meet with Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe. I think that in a very few days we can make a good and positive decision for the country.
Everyone hoped for unity within the United National Party. In that aspect, the discussions are successful. The working committee will convene soon and we will reach a decision on that matter. Stay patient for a little bit longer. This issue will come to an end in a time period between a week and 10 days.
Meanwhile, non-cabinet minister GP Pereira convened a media briefing in Colombo today. The minister spoke on the discussions between Minister Sajith Premadasa and the Tamil National Alliance.
We are holding discussions with them, not to form an alliance with them but to get their support for Minister Sajith Premadasa. We do not hope to make them a party within our alliance, because everyone knows there are some disparities between the ideologies of our parties. So we hope to get their support for the presidential election, and also we can only continue these discussions if they are satisfied with the solutions in a unitary state with maximum devolution. According to what we know, we can move forward upon that agreement. Sajith Premadasa will under no circumstance agree to a federal system.
ෆෙඩරල් ක්‍රමයකට එකඟ වෙන්නේ නැහැ.
ඔබතුමාලා සන්දානේ රාජ්‍යනායක අමාත්‍යතුමා ඉන්නවද?
ඔව්.
එතුමා ඊයේ දිනේ සහභාගී වෙලා නැහැ නේද?
Discussions will be held separately with him and Arjuna Ranatunga. We believe that we will get their support as well.
විනය ඔබතුමා විනය පරීක්ෂා ජාතික පක්ෂයේ විනය පරීක්ෂණ කමිටුවේ විසින් ඔබතුමාලාට පක්ෂ දානමක් වෙන්න කියලා නිකන් සූදානම්වත් වෙනවා කියලා පක්ෂ නායකයන්ට ඉදිරිපත් කළා තියෙනවා.
අපිට නම් තාම
We have not been informed in writing as yet. Providing information to newspapers without informing us of the matter personally shows how anomalous this process is. I'm as sure as the sun and the moon that the people approve of all of our actions.
අපි කරන දේ ජනතාව අනුමත කරන බව නම් මට ඉරහඳ වගේ පැහැදිලි.
Meanwhile, member of the Democratic People's Front parliamentarian M. Velukumar, representing the UNF, was also questioned about the presidential candidate of the UNP.
As a member party of the United People's Alliance, we have clearly stated that a member of the UNP should be the presidential candidate this year. There are suitable people within the UNP. We request the UNP to hold discussions and select the most suitable candidate. We want the leader, the people and the country ask for. We are a party that moves forward with the United National Front. I believe that if Sajith Premadasa is fielded as the presidential candidate, we can record a massive victory at the presidential election.
An event to present appointment letters to some of the development officers was held at Temple Trees today.
The event was held under the auspices of Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe. Appointment letters were presented to 5,000 Samruddhi development officers, while pension salaries were presented to 1,000 retired Samruddhi development officers and relatives of 500 deceased development officers.
Today, health services have improved. We have insured school students. We are beginning to establish smart classrooms today. By the end of this year, we will provide computer tabs to advanced level students as a pilot project. We did not do this to become a dictator. We did this while strengthening democracy. If you watch television in the morning, you would see that I am the person who is attacked the most. Watch television in the evening, I am the one who is scolded the most. Where do you find freedom like this? White vans don't come to your homes now. If anyone calls, the suicide ambulance might come to your house. We have made that change. Some people say that they want arbitrary powers and that they will act once they get the power. We have done the job without the power. This is the only government without a majority. We sustained this government for 4 years. Even while crawling, we continued with this government for 4 years.
The 59th birthday of Minister Dayagamage was also celebrated during the event.
Another conference organized by the National People's Power Movement got underway in Kalutara yesterday under the auspices of its presidential candidate Anrukumara Disanayaka.
Most senior leaders cannot say they will put an end to corruption, fraud and waste, nor can they say that they will punish the corrupt leaders. Can the new leaders say the same? No, neither the old leaders nor the new leaders can say that they will strengthen the democratic institutions or re-establish democracy in the country. For the first time in history, both are exposed to the public. Therefore, remember, this is the best political opportunity. If we had wanted, we could have let this opportunity go by, or else we could have faced it, jumped at it and taken over the situation. Then what should we do? We need to direct it properly.
South Asia's tallest building, the Lotus Tower, will be vested to the public tomorrow afternoon under the auspices of President Maithripala Sirisena.
This site, which embraces the skies of Colombo, will surely mesmerize you from tomorrow. Many countries in the world, including several Asian countries, are proud owners of similar towers, which are known as popular tourist attractions. However, the Lotus Tower has risen from Sri Lanka, becoming the tallest of its kind in South Asia and reaching the 19th position among the world's powers. With a height of 356.3 meters, Lotus Tower was built at a cost of $104.5 million. Of this, $67 million was a loan obtained from a Chinese bank, while the rest of the cost was incurred by the Telecommunication Regulatory Commission. The tower includes rotating restaurant, shopping mall, and a stage that could be for cultural shows. The tower also consists of 6 super luxury bedrooms. The area that takes the shape of the lotus flower consists of 8 floors, and the 6th and the 7th floors are dedicated for the radio and television digital transmission activities. Accordingly, the country's television and radio channels will be able to transmit their telecasts and broadcasts in the Western Province using digital transmission technology.
When the contract was signed, the height was 350 meters, but we have changed the antenna mast in a manner where any type of antenna can be fixed. Thereby, the height of the tower will increase by another 6.3 meters. We will vest this with the public tomorrow. We will upgrade this as per the requirement of the people. There is also an observation area which will have a 360-degree view of the city of Colombo from 244 meters above. We will soon declare that open too.
On to another one of our headline-making stories. A plan by the Ceylon Electricity Board to purchase power from a barge-mounted power plant has been revealed by the Ceylon Electricity Board Employees Union. They allege that a large-scale financial scam is set to take place behind this transaction.
The Electricity Board has sought the permission of the Public Utilities Commission to purchase power from a barge that is anchored at the Colombo port. Documents to call for tenders in this regard have already been prepared according to sources. Between 2014 and now, there have been no steps taken to build any low-cost power plants. In its place, the ministry has consistently purchased power from the private sector since 2015.
The CEB is currently making huge losses. Between 2015 and 2018, that loss is 113 billion rupees. On a per capita basis, each person pays 5,000 rupees. The projected loss this year is 139 billion rupees.
While the power plant in Gaul was supposed to have contributed 100 megawatts of power from the year 2018, it has not been built as of yet. While the Keravalapitia LNG power plant was supposed to have been contributing to the national grid from 2018, the tender with regard to the plant has not been offered yet. The allegation of creating issues with that tender too has fallen on officials at the CEB. There has so far also been no approval given to a solar power plant that will contribute 1,400 megawatts.
Solar projects of about 1,550 megawatts are currently stuck in Sri Lanka. If we are allowed to activate these with batteries, we will not need to make these emergency power purchases.
The 100 megawatts that was supposed to contribute to the national grid from the wind power plant in Mannar is yet to be added to the national grid. While cabinet approval was granted for the purchasing of power on a short-term basis from generators at state institutions, that too has not been implemented. Even the purchasing of 50 megawatt machines have not paid off due to the scams that have taken place, resulting in unsuitable machinery being purchased. Considering all this, a total of about 2,000 megawatts that was supposed to have been added to the national grid has been missed out on. The shortfall shown to justify the emergency power purchasing is about 100 to 200 megawatts.
This is a drama put in place by politicians, businessmen and dishonest officials to rip the people of their money. We overspend by about 25 rupees per unit of electricity. Through this mafia, the minister and the associations are making commissions. There are projects worth more than 3,000 megawatts that are supposed to commence in 2019, 2020 and 2021. There is no plan for this. On one hand, you have the secretary to the ministry and the engineers union, and on the other hand, you have the minister and the cabinet.
Previously, the minister put forward a cabinet paper in April to resort to emergency power purchasing from barges.
This scam is bigger than the heroin menace in the country. Instead of looking for solutions, they are trying to worsen the crisis, because when the issue gets bigger, they earn commissions out of it.
Moving on to sports news now. Royal College Colombo won the annual water polo encounter against Nalanda College Colombo today.
The event organized for the third time was held at the Royal College Pool Complex. many spectators attended the match. This water polo encounter was very closely contested. Royal College won the match against Nalanda College, scoring 16 goals to 9.
For tonight's edition of Weekend Primetime News, thank you very much for joining us. Good night.